Today on the Quick Slant, the one thing the Bengals might do to pull off an upset. We really know what the Packers have as far as a team, including the injuries that are going to factor into this coming matchup against the Bengals. But let's talk a little bit about the Bengals themselves. I watched the first two games that the Bengals played this year, and they frankly looked fairly atrocious, but they had kind of flashes of stuff that impressed me, which, of course, when we talk about a matchup and the potential of an upset, has me a little worried. Let's start on the offensive side of the board. Without a question, in my mind, the Bengals' run game is the strength of their offense right now. They've popped off some pretty big runs against both the Ravens and the Texans, and let's be honest, those two teams have some pretty stout run defense. So that's nothing to sniff at. So hopefully the Packers can kind of suck down and shut down that run game. The Bengals' pass offense has looked really atrocious. I don't know what Andy Dalton's passer rating is, but I think he's worst in the league in the first two games, and that has, I know they replaced the offensive coordinator, fired the old offensive coordinator, and the quarterback's coach is stepping in as interim coordinator. My gut reaction to the Bengals' first two games was that it was not the coordinator. They just did not execute well at all, including Andy Dalton. Throws that were just like way off the mark to receivers who were actually open. So that, I think, is going to be the first key. The Packers are going to have to stop the run, and that's the very first thing, well, most teams try to do, but definitely against the Bengals, we have to stop the run as a starter. On the defensive side of the ball, the Bengals actually have a pretty good run defense. They did not look at all good in pass defense, which this, of course, plays to the Packers' strengths. I mean, we may see less of Ty Montgomery in this game than we have in the past few games, and in the past few games we've kind of met at the live halftime show discussing why we're not running the ball more. So that, I think, actually plays to the Packers' strengths, is the fact that the Bengals left receivers pretty wide open, and if you cannot do that to Aaron Rodgers or you're going to get burned. So I expect to see some pretty big offensive plays in the passing game for the Packers in this coming game. Now, the one key that I think we have to be wary about, or we may be staring at an upset. Andy Dalton has looked absolutely atrocious the first two games of this season. They haven't scored a single touchdown in 2 games. However, Dalton, I don't consider him an elite quarterback, but he has streaks where he can light it up. I think his career average passer rating is 106 and change. So my concern is that against the Packers, if Andy finds a rhythm and starts hitting receivers, we actually could be in some trouble, because he can be a very flashy quarterback. And so you just kind of a flash in the pan, streaky kind of quarterback that he may come in and have 106 passer rating in addition to a run offense that's doing quite well. And that could be problems for a Packer team that has so many injuries on the board. So that's my thoughts on the Packers-Bengals matchup. Hopefully the heat won't cause too many problems. We're hoping and praying that people stay hydrated and stay cool and we can make it through this game without any injuries and with another win under our belts. So let me know what you think in the comments. Definitely, if you haven't gotten the FireFan app, download it. You can go to firefan.com, download the app, enter the code GETTHERING, because we've got a brand new ring, that GPN ring that we're playing for in the Packer Nation League. Search out the Packer Nation League when you get the app and look for our logo and join in. We're going to have a whole heap of fun, and we're going to be playing like every possible NFL game. So jump in, see if you're the one that's going to win the ring.